Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some even more kind of big and kind of crazy decisions going on over here when it comes to both really big exclusive PlayStation 5 games, as well as also remakes, and as well, kind of something that's a little bit off the Sony beaten path, especially when it comes to working with their own individual studios and making things nice and crystal clear. So we have a lot of really kind of almost skeptical things I want to go call it over here, because there's been some really big breaking news when it comes to all this stuff. And as well, I hope you guys are having a brand new nice new year, and hope you guys will start 2023 off nice, good, and fresh. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on before we dive into all this news. As well, we have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. If you guys would like to go and say hi, hang out, and chill, or as well check out the Amazon and Target links down below, so we can now go and dive into the video itself. So as I've mentioned, we've had some very kind of big and intriguing news very well. First and foremost, number one is on kind of a big skeptical call when it comes to PlayStation, Sony, and one of their really big individual studios. And now this is over here for some big leaks floating around in regards to the new upcoming Horizon Zero Dawn, so the original one, the very first game, PlayStation 5 remake. So this was like 4 different topics that I want to dive into from this one. Number one is that it almost kind of seems once again a little bit too early to be making a remake for this game. Kind of similar big critiques a lot of folks had with The Last of Us and Last of Us Remake, where the game was already on the PlayStation 3 and as well as on the PS4, and also did have a lot of remakes or upgrades already internally. And now it's even more intriguing because with Horizon, Forbidden West just coming out with pretty decent success, it's kind of, it kind of makes sense that this might be a next, kind of filler block to maybe get new sales and get new games and, kind of revitalize it a little bit for the prior game, mainly because I'm sure a lot of folks really enjoyed the new one, or maybe a lot of folks never even played the first one. That kind of makes sense marketing-wise, but it kind of just seems a little bit too soon. But as well, a part 2, which we'll dive in this video, it's weird because this is also not even being developed and made by the original makers, aka Guerrilla Games, from all these latest rumors and leaks floating around, which also once again is very strange. So basically the latest rumors suggest that another studio has now been basically offered and is suggesting to work on the new mantle for the next upcoming PlayStation 5 remake and remaster for Horizon Zero Dawn. Intriguing to note. So Horizon Zero Dawn has certainly towered the gaming industry with its aesthetic appeal and engaging presentation of a post-apocalyptic world. The lore-filled open world leaves one satisfied with fulfilling gameplay, and its sequel only grew upon it, which I do agree on. I think the sequel did a very good job. However, fables are wearing around the community and suggest an upcoming PlayStation 5 version. So many robust rumors have spouted recently, implying that Horizon Zero Dawn's PS5 remake or remaster is on the horizon. Starting off 2023 with some good humor, right? So, however, not many details have currently emerged about the intriguing prospect. The latest rumor discusses unexpected developments, shedding more light on the rumored PS5 remake. So this is kind of like the big brand new news right here. The PS5 remake is, surprisingly, for Horizon Zero Dawn, is not going to be developed by Guerrilla Games, the original devs who made the initial IP, which to me is still very weird, because I feel like that's outside the normal box for Sony. They would typically have a company, say like Naughty Dog or all these other various big IPs, kind of somewhat still be at the realm and try their best to make sure that the quality is there, they know what they're doing, they may be original, so they may even have original files or the same people making new things, just with updated engines and textures and, graphics and all of that, and it's really weird that they're not working towards this. So Horizon Zero Dawn is allegedly not being developed by Guerrilla Games, but another brand new studio is now taking the mantle, as per insider leaks, which once again just seems so off the beaten path. What almost seems like maybe Sony might be making a double mistake. The double mistake on this one might be they might be overly trying to push their old IPs that have not been worn down yet. Reminder that basically Legend of Zelda, the brand new one on the Switch, has also still not had a remake, revision, or whatever, and it's still selling fine, doing well, and it's also a pretty big staple of a game. Now, would I love one of those? Probably yes, but would I want to pay money for it, even on a Switch 2 or Switch Pro? Probably not. And as well, we've also seen the other IPs, such as I mentioned, Last of Us, where a lot of critique was it really too soon? And a lot of people probably said, yeah. Like, I did a replay through of it because I was just bored on Twitch and wanted to play it. It was a good experience, good game, good vibe. But once again, it didn't really feel that much of a difference and it did feel a little bit better. It did feel better graphically too, but it wasn't something that was like, oh my god, this is the best experience everyone should out there and go and, well, experience. It was good, but it was just, I still think, a little bit too soon. The developers are working on multiple other projects, such as a Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC, so basically that's kind of why they decided to do this to another studio. Now, I don't think that's a bad call, as long as there is still good Sony quality control, or if we knew the studio, we'd have more calls on it. Like, is it a Sony PlayStation studio, like this one, the filler studios, or is it someone completely offshore? Who never knows, so that might be a big play on that one. It's also saying it's unclear on which team is developing this PS5 remake or remaster, but as well, most folks don't also even know if it is a remake or a remaster, which is obviously a really big difference. Although the PS5 remake or remaster will apparently feature improved lighting, character models, and fan animations, alongside the other enhancements to match its newer sequel, which once again may not be the world's worst idea, and I would like it better if Sony did something like a dual bundle, like they sold both games for $60 like a year from now, to kind of like revitalize both series. But knowing the general trend as of recent, it's probably going to be one of those things where they try to charge $70 and then it's really awkward to, well, go through. And as well, with them also trying to go and remake these games, I'm one of those people, I'd rather have new games, new IPs, put that studio that they're paying money to basically make something new. Now, they may not make as much money from, say, a Horizon remake, because it is a popular IP, also has, like, you know, everything with, say, the original, like, the second brand new game out there. Like, they have, like, the momentum, they have the hype, but it's different because it just is strange. It's just weird to go and see this. So basically, this was from a pretty big accredited industry insider, Colin Morty, who broke the unexpected word. Colin unveiled the information in a recent basically podcast, which basically had a lot of folks saying this will be allegedly handled by these studios. They also cannot confirm the validity of the rumor of the remake, but asserts that its development is being helmed without the direct interference of Guerrilla Games, as we mentioned too, and this is also could be also one of PlayStation's internal studios. We've also are assuming that Guerrilla is making the Horizon remake thing there. Oh, that's real. That's what we've heard is from a different team. They also reiterated that they will not publicize which team could be brewing the next generation as well, as they may not appreciate this being disclosed before announced. While they got upset with Guerrilla Games for not developing the updated Horizon Dawn edition, it's still deeply occupied with the IP these days, and the team is working on multiple Horizon-related projects. For instance, they have the brand new DLC coming out too, and they also do have the PlayStation VR one, which is kind of funny. We've had a lot of PlayStation VR news as of today. So while there is still other systems, there is going to be big remakes. Once again, is this going to be like a big Sony mistake by investing so much time, money, and effort into just an upgrade, and probably still charging $70 if they did with The Last of Us remake, which I kind of feel like they probably will, and I just think they're kind of trying to milk these games just a little bit too much, in my opinion, and maybe give them a little bit more of a space out, make the graphical improvements a little bit bigger. Like, I do think the PS5 has been a big jump, but this, to me, is, I think, still pushing it, especially if they want to push that $70 price point. I can appreciate the hard work. I know it takes time to make it, but not having to deal with all these unique assets and brainstorming them and the story and the dialogue and everything in between, I don't know, it is getting a little bit too much, at least in my opinion. But at least in some other cooler news too, we've actually been seeing more news now for Final Fantasy news. So there's also an basically unannounced over here. So look at this highlight for this one. So as they're saying that they do have good news, first of all, for the development of PlayStation, basically the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth for PlayStation. And I'm sure a lot of folks are getting hyped up for it, and they can't wait to play the game. And people, like, even the devs are like, let's go. And I'm so excited for Final Fantasy 7, but as well Final Fantasy 16. So they're going to have more information for that in the near future. But one of the bigger things is there's also another big announcement unrelated to Final Fantasy 7 that I can't say anything about as of yet. Actually, that might not be even 7, but whatever number that is. I think it's actually 7. I can't say nothing about as of yet. Rest assured, we're working hard to make 2023 is the most exciting year yet. And I love this because I'm getting hyped up for all of this type of stuff. I love seeing this. I love seeing brand new news and IPs. And Final Fantasy's had a pretty good staple in the gaming community. There's also a few little various updates for the other Final Fantasy games. We've also been seeing Final Fantasy 16 is already hyping up a huge new year too as well. And this is kind of tied on to where we're seeing all of this big news, where folks are saying this will be a huge big game day. Those had like press announcements, CEO announcements, and I just can't wait to go and play these games myself because these games are looking and feeling pretty good. So it's like a kind of a more of a basic statement. Like, it's not like, oh my god, the game here's like everything, here's final bosses, here's whatever. But a lot of these things from all these devs and Square Enix kind of put out these press releases does go and show that they're getting pretty hyped up for the games myself included. So we'll see if Sony's PlayStation remakes are going to be a mistake, if Final Fantasy 16 can go and basically make it so this year is going to be good either way. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for the channel, gaming news, everything else. We also have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below too as well. Target links, Amazon links for all the signups too, so make sure you guys take advantage of those. And we guys all have a fantastic 2020 as well. And by that I mean 2023.